The thing about physical activity, you hear that come up a lot. I hear it come up a lot. It's like when people get in shape, when people focus on um, physical activities or running or things that like they have to push themselves physically to achieve, how that translates and leads to improvements and success in other aspects of your life. And I was thinking about that, particularly through the lens of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is what I do, but I think it's true for really any physical activity. Push-ups, running, doesn't matter. There's something about physical activity in Jiu-Jitsu, quite literally, where it forces you to face the reality of how good it feels to tap out, of how convenient, and when convenient, how easily we take it, the chance to tap out, to give up, to break. That's not a good feeling. I don't know of many, if any, people that are totally cool with that sensation. Whether it be obviously the most like egotistical, pride-driven person, but even people who are really well-balanced and reasonable, almost everybody views that as a negative. Almost everybody. The idea of giving up, giving in, breaking, not being resilient, tough enough, persistent enough, whatever, to push through, to achieve something or to do something. But in much of our life, because we dislike it so much, it's very easy for us to cover that up, to create an illusion, to make pretend that we didn't actually quit, we didn't actually tap out. There was some reason it happened. There was some justification. There's some mental gymnastics we can do to convince ourselves it doesn't say anything about us. It's not actually me breaking or giving in. I'm still the person I want to believe I am. I'm not a person who would so gladly take the opportunity to just be like, that's too hard. I don't want to do that. I want the outcome of it, but I don't want to do the thing. I'm just not capable. I'm not strong enough. But in jiu-jitsu, as much as anything else I could think of, you're forced to face that reality and stare it right in the face. And there's no gymnastics you can do. There's nothing you could do other, because it's quite literal. I found myself in a position like this morning, where you find yourself in a certain position. Often, particularly the more you do jiu-jitsu, you know what you need to do to get out of it. But sometimes there hits a point, often when you do get tapped out, when you do get submitted, where you know what you need to do, but you just can't do it. Maybe you're exhausted, maybe you're hurting, maybe it's mental. It could be a whole host of things. Usually it's many. But for whatever reason, you chose not to do that thing. You chose to not, and then you had to give up. You had to literally, physically manifest that out to another person. That, hey, I no more for me. This is too much. And again, I don't mean that in a way that it should sound negative. Like for those that do jiu-jitsu, if you do get in a position where you are being choked and it's sunk in, where you should feel like I shouldn't tap. Because again, my point isn't about that. It's that moment that led to you getting tapped. That tap it's a delayed. There's a lag on it. You tapped because of something that happened earlier, where there was a moment where somehow you didn't have it. You couldn't do it. Being forced to face that reality, being forced to have to swim in it, to in that moment, and then after class, and then that night potentially to have to, and then to do it all the time. That's something. That's something that forces a level of humility and appreciation for how easy it is to quit. And again, it could be running. I was doing push-ups earlier, and it hits a point where you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. It's making me uncomfortable. It would be better to quit, but just like it forces me to say, well, I said I was going to do 20 push-ups, and I've only gotten to 17. If I stop now, I could. It'd be very easy for me to stop. But I'd have to face that reality of like, I didn't have it in me to finish the job. Being forced to face that regularly and to appreciate how convenient and easy and how willing we are to go there, to tap out, to quit, that knowledge allows you to be better in life. I think it allows you, when those opportunities do arise in life in general, your job, your family, personal, whatever, for you to at least be aware of what's happening and to know and have the humility to admit that I may quit if this gets too hard, because I've quit in other situations when it gets too hard. I know what that looks like. I know I'm capable of it. I can't lie to myself and make pretend I'm not. And that would seem like a negative thing, and many people think it is, and that's why they don't want to experience that. But I think we have to look at it for the positive, for the way it allows you to be real with yourself and just be honest, and then account for that. Maybe I need to be stronger. Maybe I need to build mental toughness. Maybe that thing's not for me. Maybe I'm okay that I quit doing that. But it's eyes wide open. It's deliberate. It's genuine. It's real. You know what it is. And I think that's the thing, physical activity, jiu-jitsu, being forced to tap out so often, I think that's the big benefit that comes with it.